So I know Sansa and Ramsay's marriage and what happened afterwards is still a little bit of a tricky subject to talk about because there's a lot of people that are angry about it and then a lot of people that think it was great, and then there are people that try to justify the terrible things that happened as, well, she was his wife, so it's okay. And to those people I say, please go away. Anyways, if you are pissed about what happened to Sansa in the show and with her marrying Ramsay, George is right with you and thinks Littlefinger giving over Sansa is just a stupid fucking thing for Littlefinger to do. We all know that. We all know Baelish wouldn't do something so stupid. So anyways, here's what George said on that.
My Littlefinger would have never turned Sansa over to Ramsay. Never. He's obsessed with her. Half the time he thinks she's the daughter he never had, that he wishes he had if he'd married Catelyn, and half the time he thinks she is Catelyn, and he wants her for himself. He's not going to give her to somebody who would do bad things to her. That's going to be very different in the books.
Yeah, George, thank you. Although I don't think any of us thought something like that would happen to Sansa in the books, especially since Jane Poole is the fake Arya who already had those bad things happen to her and then she escaped with Theon. Interestingly, George did talk about the blowback, so here's what he said to make it maybe a little bit more sense, his whole thing about Jane Poole and them using Sansa in the show. So George said,
Jane Poole was included in the pilot. She's shown giggling next to Sansa, but she's never seen or referred to again. I actually wrote Jane into the pointy end, my first script when Arya killed the stable boy. I had some stuff with Jane running to Sansa being all hysterical and dialogue in the council chamber with Littlefinger saying, give her to me, I'll make sure she doesn't cause any trouble.
But George said they dropped that, they decided they're not going with Jane, and here's his final little snippet on that.
Not having Jane, they use Sansa for that. Is that better or worse? You can make your decision there. Oddly, I never got pushback for that in the book because nobody cared about Jane Poole that much. They care about Sansa.
Which is really a good point, where these horrific things happen to fake Arya being raped by dogs, and just, we're upset and we think it's disturbing, but I don't feel there was as much of a backlash for that versus what happened to Sansa in the show. I don't know, you guys can let me know why you think that is.